Non-fungible tokens. You probably heard the word NFT, and that is what it stands for. So NFTs have been sweeping through the art community, people selling digital artwork for millions of dollars, tens of millions, I believe even hundreds of millions at times. It's incredible. People paying a fortune for digital apes and CryptoPunks. But crucially, this has now spread to the publishing community, and people have started asking, what is a non-fungible token, and also how can I use it for my books or as an author? Fungible is something that can be copied and duplicated, therefore non-fungible means that you cannot copy it. It is a one-off. The token element, of course, does mean that it can be transferred. So I can transfer my NFT to someone, but it can't be copied. It is a one-off. It can never be replicated. So that's what an NFT means. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you a bit more about what it is, what I think the benefits of NFTs for books could be and for authors. As you're watching the video, do comment below if there are any sections you'd like me to expand on, if you'd like us to do a video about how to create an NFT for your book, or do a deeper dive on any of the elements that we discuss. So what can you actually provide as an NFT? So let's say you've created your NFT, you've minted your NFT. Again, I'm not going to go into that in this video. This video is just going to be a broad introduction to what an NFT for authors is. And then of course we will deep dive on these individual sections. As I said, comment below with which sections you would like us to go deeper on. So when it comes to what could be an NFT for your book, the actual content of your book itself could be an NFT. So the actual digital file of your book could be created as a non-fungible token. That means you could create a unique digital file of your book, so that EPUB, for example, that someone can download. But when it's done as an NFT, it means it cannot be replicated. So it can be proven on the blockchain that that is the one of 100 ebooks that were originally created. So it opens up this whole new idea with the digital elements of your book. So previously you could sign a book, you could do a special print run, and it was easy, or easier I should say, give them something special that would give them more value. You can now do that same thing with the digital version of your book, which is exciting for authors because of course ebooks is generally where authors are making the bulk of their profit. Now, the second part to understand, and this is what really makes NFTs unique and what really makes it an interesting proposition for authors and for publishers, is that let's say you sell me a digital copy of your book as an NFT. I can then resell that NFT, but into the smart contract, you can set a stipulation that if I resell that, number one of 100 books, ebooks, you get another royalty. So you would get another 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever you set in this smart contract. Again, smart contracts are something for a separate video, but the fundamental principle is that authors and publishers only ever had a way to monetize their book once, which is when they actually sold it to the reader. But now, for example, they have a second opportunity to monetize that book, which is when it gets resold. And so if you think about special editions, so let's say I created a signed copy of my book, I give that away, maybe I charge a premium price for it, and then someone buys that book, for £20, and maybe in years to come it's worth thousands, or, probably being optimistic there, it's probably worth hundreds. I don't receive any of that value as the author or the publisher, but in future using an NFT, you would be able to capture some of that value each time that book is sold. So that presents a really interesting additional revenue stream for authors. So the other way this is a huge change to the digital version of books is that largely these digital versions have often been rented or very temporary. For example, if you use a Kindle device, you can use their lending platform and you read the book that way by paying your subscription. Or even if you are purchasing that book, it's just that file that you hold, but often it's on a device. It might expire after a certain amount of time, and it hasn't been something that you've really owned yourself. And again, NFTs will change this because you will actually own that digital file entirely. What I think is most exciting for authors about NFTs and their application to books is that by using this technology, you can get creative and you can supply other items with the books, giveaways. It doesn't just have to be digital, you can encompass physical elements. So for example, if someone buys the NFT, they might get a special code, and then they could go and use that code at an event that you're holding to purchase something else. If you're a speaker, they could get a ticket to your event, or they could maybe get a discount on all the future books that you publish, or they might get a piece of artwork, physical artwork, digital artwork. And really the point of this is that it gives authors and publishers a new way to monetize their works and prevent this constant race to the bottom that we often see, where everybody is trying to come up with new promos and bundle things for discounts. Instead, what it would give you the opportunity to do is to come up with other ways to monetize your book and monetize around your book. So the authors that are really going to win and the publishers that will win in this space is those who really understand NFTs and what's possible with them and how they can use it to drive additional revenue. The final point I want to leave with on NFTs is that using the example of a children's book, for example, the one I spoke about in a previous video, is where this author has all these characters. So what I think would be really interesting, and this is just the most obvious way it's applicable, is for children's authors where these characters could then be sold as digital artwork. And that's what, is just a very quick and easy way to get your head around how this can work. So for example, let's take this author again to play on that. Perhaps his Cody the crocodile, he could sell, an NFT of Cody the crocodile. It's a one-off digital art piece, and that would cost, X amount of money for someone to buy. And then as this, popularity grows of these books, that art piece, that digital art piece could become really valuable. And then the author will have sold it the once, of course, to whoever purchased it. But if that person then chooses to realize some of the money they've made from the increase in value, the author would get a percentage of that sale. So then when it resells, they would get another 10%. And then maybe that person has it for a while, they sell it on to someone else, the author gets 10%, from each of these sales. Like I say, if you have enjoyed this video, please do comment below if you have any other questions about NFTs, any of those areas you would like us to go into more detail on. Please do like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.